Hey guys, this morning I thought that low-cost investing was such an exciting topic that I would cover Charles Schwab, Fidelity, and Vanguard all in one video, and that you'd want to stick around for a half an hour and watch me scroll around on my browser. Or you might not, and that's fine too. So I split this into 3 videos so that you don't have to stick around through all that. The highlights from Fidelity is that the commissions are $4.95 for stocks, options, and ETFs. Fidelity ETFs actually have no commission, and then they even offer 4 ETFs that don't have an expense ratio, meaning there's literally no fee. That's a pretty good deal. So Fidelity doesn't sell order flow. That's a positive. If you're not bored enough now and you want to stick around and watch more, you can do that. You can stay right there. So that's up to you. Yep.
All right, next up, let's talk about Fidelity. So similar to Charles Schwab, lots of tools you can use, and no surprise, they also offer retirement accounts. So you have choices there between traditional and Roth IRAs. You also have a lot of different stocks, ETFs, bonds, if you're into that. And you can choose quite a few things to do as far as account type and investment type within your accounts. So one of the things that stands out with them, and I'm going to go over to their fees page here real quick. So they do have, for most stocks and ETFs, you're going to have a $4.95 trading fee. That is competitive. I'm curious now with Charles Schwab coming out and some of the other brokerages coming out with zero commission fee trading. I'm curious whether that's going to go down or be eliminated. What's interesting is Fidelity, as far as I know, they don't sell order flow, so that's not a revenue stream that they have. It's neat to see from a user standpoint, but it maybe will change the way they structure their fees, or may limit how they'll structure their fees. But as I was saying, one of the things that stands out with them is this handful of zero expense ratio funds that they offer. So for example, this Fidelity Zero Total Market Index Fund, mouthful, is actually a fund that has no expense ratio. So basically, for having a Fidelity account, you have access to these 4 funds where not only are the fees really low, they're non-existent. And you can dig through prospectus and that kind of stuff. You actually, again, you don't have minimums that you have to hit in order to get invested in these. You don't have any fees that you end up paying. So quite literally, it's $0 per $1,000 that you have invested. That's it's fantastic. Partially, I'm laughing just because of the fact that this is dramatically different from what the world of investing was, certainly even 10 years ago, let alone further in the past than that. So wonderful thing to have for investors, access to extremely low or no fee funds. That's fantastic. In fact, a total market index, so what this is trying to do is generally track all publicly held companies, probably all publicly held US companies in one fund. So that actually, if you had to pick one thing to hold within any investment account, this would be one of the things to look at, and it's one of the reasons why Fidelity is on this list. They actually, if we'll go back to their fees page, they have some of the best fee, or one of the best fee structures of any brokerage I've seen. So they don't charge you for reorganization, they don't charge you for closing out, they don't charge you for transferring out. Like I said, most companies, including Schwab, which we just looked at, there is a fee if you decide to transfer your account or transfer your portfolio over to another brokerage. Usually the place you're transferring from is going to hit you with a fee. And to some extent, why wouldn't they? They're apparently losing you as a customer. They may as well hit you with a fee, right? But the fact that pretty well across the board, with the exception of the fact that they do still have this $4.95 for stock or options trades, or $4.95 for non-Fidelity ETFs. They're one of the best brokerages as far as fees go. Again, they've got a lot of tools that you can use to learn about investing, so I like seeing that, and I think this would be one of the best options for someone that is looking to open an account and wants to get started with just a little bit of money. The ETFs, just those 4 that we saw, if I go back to that page real quick, if I can get to it, the fact that they have a total market index fund, international index fund, and extended market fund, as well as this large cap index fund, all of these are without an expense ratio, and there's no minimum, as they say here, to invest in those. You could build a solid portfolio with those funds. It's certainly good to have options beyond that, and there is a lot of things you can do beyond that. You can certainly purchase individual stocks, but this would form a great backbone of a portfolio for anyone that is looking to get started investing.
Okay. See ya.